Hey y'all, and welcome back to the party. It's your girl BrittReacts, and today we are reacting to George Carlin, list of people who ought to not make it. Let's see what he has to say. I'm actually quite scared of what this list is going to be and who's going to be on it.
Something else a lot of you are aware of, those of you with illegal cable hookups will be aware of the fact that one of the things I like to do in my shows is complain. You know, it's kind of a motif for me, complaining. And of course, this weird culture we live in leaves you no shortage of things to complain about. So this next piece of material, like most good ideas, is fairly simple. It's just a list of people who ought to be killed.
Motif, is that the same as like niche? Like, would that be the same kind of word nowadays? It felt like that's what he was trying to say. It's a motif, if you will. It's like, that's my niche, if you will. All right, let's get into this. Goodness gracious.
It's just a list of people who ought to be killed. Starting with these people who read self-help books. Why do so many people need...
Okay, good. We're talking about groups of people, at least. I thought he was going to like rattle off like a list of celebrities or something. Nope. Groups of people. Even better.
Help. Life is not that complicated. You get up, you go to work, you eat 3 meals, you take 1 good shit, and you go back to bed. What's the fucking mystery? And the part I really don't understand, if you're looking for self-help, why would you read a book written by somebody else? That's not self-help, that's help. There's no such thing as self-help. If you did it yourself, you didn't need help. You did it yourself. Try to pay attention to the language we've all agreed on.
Here we go. He's about to just like combust everything I've ever believed in. I think self-help is more of like you have decided to seek out the help and you're like self-awareness kind of thing. Although you are being helped by whoever wrote the book. So I don't know if it is self-help. Here we go, George. You know, I just flew recently this weekend and they said pre-boarding, and as expected, I lost it. A lady like walked up and she had like a bunch of kids, and the attendant over the thing was like, "We're not pre-boarding yet for young kids. We'll let you know when we are." And I like very immaturely, and she probably heard me and thought I was laughing at the fact that she got stopped, but it was like, no, what's pre-boarding? So he's already like obliterated the whole, me and this hat and this microphone. He's already obliterated me and the airline situation. So let's see what else he can combust for me.
Try to pay attention to the language we've all agreed on. And a similar mystery to me, motivation books, motivation seminars. Why would anyone need to be motivated by someone else? I say if you lack motivation, a seminar isn't going to help you. What you really need is to be smashed in the head 30 or 40 times with a golf club. That'll fucking motivate you. Or else it'll at least get you up and moving around the room. You know, locate your socks, shit like that. Get the day rolling. Motivation is bullshit. If you ask me, this country could use a little less motivation. The people who are motivated are the ones who are causing all the trouble. Stock swindlers, serial killers, child molesters, Christian conservatives. These people are highly motivated. Highly motivated.
I was going to say, I don't know if motivational books bother me as much as like some of the people who are writing these books. I don't feel like qualify. That was literally what I was going to say, and he just kind of rattled off a few of those people who are writing said motivational books. So yeah, I'm with you, George.
These people are highly motivated. Highly motivated. Yeah. And anyway, I think motivation is overrated. You show me some lazy prick who's lying around all day watching game shows and stroking his penis, and I'll show you someone's not causing any fucking trouble, okay? All right.
Fair enough.
Here's another pack of low-grade morons who ought to be locked into portable toilets and set on fire.
Sheesh.
These people with bumper stickers that say, "We are the proud parents of an honor student at the Franklin School." You know? Or the Midvale Academy, or whatever other innocent-sounding name has been assigned to the indoctrination.
Listen, you can say whatever you want about Kim Kardashian, but one of the most profound things she said was, "Would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley?" And she was referring to tattoos, but that has stuck with me as someone who has tattoos, regrettably so. I cannot stand bumper stickers. I'm just like, you went and put this chunky sticker on this very expensive car. And then there's so many of them. I just could never. I don't like love anything that much that I feel like it needs to be read by people who drive behind me. My daughter's an honor student. We honor her here in this house, not on the back of my car. George is 3 for 3 with me. I'm on board. I'm riding this train.
The Midvale Academy, or whatever other innocent-sounding name has been assigned to the indoctrination center, where their child has been sent to be stripped of his individuality and turned into an obedient, soul-dead, conformist member of the American consumer culture.
Preach. Preach.
Proud parents. What kind of empty people need to validate themselves through the achievements of their children? How'd you like that to live with a couple of these misfits? How's that science project coming along, Justin? Fuck you, Dad. You simple-minded prick. Mind your own business and pass the Cheerios.
Mind your own business?
I'd like to see. We are the proud parents of a child whose self-esteem is sufficient that he doesn't need us promoting his minor scholastic achievements on the back of our car. That was pretty good. Or we are the proud parents of a child who has resisted his teacher's attempts to break his spirit and bend him to the will of his corporate masters.
I was just talking to my best friend about this over the weekend. I had seen something. It was probably on the YouTube too, or something where a mom said that every year at the beginning of the school year, she sends notes to school with her children, and she says, "If you can't teach my child what they need to know within the 8 hours they're in your building, that's your problem. Do not send my child home with homework. They will not be completing it." And though I think maybe her tone could just be a little nicer to teachers who are just trying to do their jobs, I agree with the message. And these kids go to school for 8 hours. For them to come home with 2, 3, 4 multiple hours more of homework, how are these children expected to do anything else and be successful at school? They could come home and not do the homework and then get bad grades for not doing the homework. And we had a conversation about it. I'm like, that is so true. It's just like, is it not enough that you have the majority of the day and week? You can't fit in everything they need to know. And I do think my daughter is only in the 2nd grade, and she brings home very it's homework that will continue to read for 10 minutes a night. Fine. So I don't know what's going on in the upper grade levels these days. And I have heard that a lot of teachers are adopting that new thing, but I definitely agree with that messaging of these poor kids leave school and don't even have life skills because it's school. They might lack social skills. And it's because you send them home from school after 8 hours and lock them away in their room to do 3 more hours of homework. It's so brutal. These poor kids. And I mean, it was kind of the same growing up for us, except for I never did my homework. I breezed through school as a B student, never did homework. I was charming and my teachers liked me. I got away with a lot. Never did homework. Very rarely, unless it was super easy or it was something I could do really quickly. But another one that I agree with.
That his teacher's attempts to break his spirit and bend him to the will of his corporate masters. Just be nice a little for change, Here's something realistic. We have a daughter in public school who hasn't been knocked up yet. We have a son in public school who hasn't shot any of his classmates yet. Ooh. But he does sell drugs to your honor student.
Ooh. Ooh. My first encounter with rehab and someone going to rehab was in high school. It was one of my like really close friends. And I did not see it coming. I was like super naive. I didn't know, like, that was just not in my life, in my world, in my family or anything like that, to my knowledge. And that was my, like, I was in like 11th grade and she like disappeared. And the crazy thing was her mother was like a local celebrity. I'm just going to leave it at that because it's not my story to tell, but she was like a local celebrity and it was like a big deal that this girl was like sent away to rehab. And I was like, what? Like, why would you want to be doing rugs in high school? But so many kids struggle with it. And it's the honor students that, yeah, he's right. It's like the most unsuspecting kids. It's crazy. These poor kids. How did we make it out? It's crazy.
Plus, he knocked up your daughter.
Oh.
Then there are the people who aren't too proud of their children. We are the embarrassed parents of a cross-eyed little nitwit who at the
Could you imagine a bumper sticker?
Continues to wet the bed, but also shits on the school bus.
Oh.
Something like that on the back of the car might give the child a little more incentive, you know? Get him to try a little harder next semester.
Okay.
Here are some more parents who ought to be beaten with heavy clubs and left bleeding in the moonlight.
In the moonlight.
These are the ones who carry their babies around in these backpacks or front packs or slings or whatever these devices are called that are apparently designed to leave the parents' hands free to sort through high-end merchandise and reach for their platinum credit cards. Because it's always these upscale, yuppie-looking Greenpeace, environmentally conscious assholes who have mine, you know? I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Natural Fibers.
Natural fiber.
I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Natural Fibers. It's not camping equipment, it's a baby. Touch the little prick now and then. He'll thank you for it someday. These are the same people who sort their garbage, jog with their dogs, and listen to Steely Dan.
I don't know who Steely Dan is. Those carriers, though, are very helpful for parents who have like other kids or housework or things that they have to get done, and you have a baby who like won't let you put them down. I don't know. I might not be on the train with this one, George. I get what he's saying though, but I think they are useful. I tried to use one with my daughter, but I don't think she liked it very much. Now that's a thing. Like if your kid doesn't, some babies love to be in there and like only sleep when they're like that because it's like the chest to chest thing. Now the backpacks, the like hiking backpacks, those things are wild to me just because they're like huge mechanisms. Like I'm like, that's not heavy.
You know, you just like to take them out deep into the forest and disembowel them with a wooden cooking spoon. Here are some more people who ought to be smashed across the face repeatedly with a piece of heavy mining equipment.
Jeez.
These grown men who refer to their fathers as my daddy. You know? Yeah. Gee, you hear a lot of this stupid shit in the South. These rebel assholes, you know. My daddy, yeah, my daddy. Well, you know what my daddy used to say? My daddy used to say, blah, 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 blah. Oh, he did he? Well, wasn't that fucking enlightening? My daddy used to say, fuck your daddy. Fuck your daddy. In his wrinkled, rustic, rural, country asshole. Grow up, Billy Joe, Carl, Bob, Danny, Frank. You're not 6 anymore. More like 9.
Oh my gosh.
Here's another unfortunate pack of mutants who ought to be penciled in for a sudden visit from the angel of death.
Okay, penciled in.
These guys who can't tell you about a phone call they had without giving you this shit. The fucking pinky and the thumb. Like they attended mime college. Studied under Marcel Marceau. So I call her up, you know? And I'm talking to her. And she fucking hangs up on me.
I have always wondered about this because this is not even how we hold phones. Like, wouldn't it be more like I almost hit myself. Like this? Like whoever came up with this. Like I get like the old school phones look, they were like shaped more like this, but you still didn't hold it like that. You held it like this. So why were we ever doing this? Questions that need answers. Good one, George. Good one.
And I'm talking to her. And she fucking hangs up on me. So I hang up on her. And she calls me back. I fucking hang up again. I say, hey, Bruno, thanks for the visual aid. But we all understand the concept of the telephone. You hold it in your hand, you talk into it. Excuse me, Bruno, incoming call. Oh, hey, it's for you.
Oh my gosh. Oh. My cheeks hurt. My cheeks hurt.
A bunch of puss-headed telephone cretins.
Puss-headed.
Self-important techno dicks who walk around with these hands-free telephone headsets and earpieces. Mr. Self-important doesn't want to be too far from the phone in case Henry Kissinger calls. He's got the Dalai Lama on line
Guilty?
2. I say, hey, spaceman.
Am I guilty?
As long as your hands are free, reach over here and fondle my balls, would you please? And answering machines.
What's wrong with answering
People
machines?
think it's cute to let their children record the outgoing message. You know? And you can't understand.
I have an answer machine story that if you are one of my close friends or one of my older friends, you can attest to this. My mom, if you're new here, I grew up super religious, missionary Baptist to be exact. And my mom used to answer the phone, praise the Lord, hello. And our answer machine was the same, praise the Lord, you've reached. And none of my friends gave me grief because most of my friends were church friends and they knew the deal. Their parents were the same way. I never got like teased for it, but I like make fun of my mom all the time about it now. I'm like, you were a time and a half growing up, like, girl. So yeah. And then I also dated a guy who, this was like back when the teens would get their own phone line, you know, like 8th grade, 9th grade for me. And he had 3 siblings. There were 4 of them. And their answer machine was, you have reached blank, 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 and blank. And like the way that the rhythm of it went till this day, it'll like stick with me to the day that I die, because it was just like, you've reached blank, 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 blank. And it was just like such a cute answering machine. Anyway, I've told you enough about myself. Let's go.
And record the outgoing message. You know? And you can't understand a word of it because the kid's a fucking imbecile. Hi, my name is Stacy. I'm 5 years old. My mommy and daddy aren't home. Here's my message, Stacy. I'm coming over to your house with a big knife. And I'm gonna kill mommy and daddy. Then I'm gonna peel off their skin and make a funny hat. After that, I'm gonna take out my huge ding-dong and stick it right in your... These are the same parents who at Christmas time send you pictures of their children. Pictures you didn't ask for and you don't want.
This one's so true.
But it is fun throwing the pictures away, isn't it? I don't even look at the fucking Christmas card. Who is this? Luann is 12 this year. Fuck Luann.
I don't think I knew that people did Christmas cards until I was in my 30s. Like, I don't know. I just wasn't raised around people who did Christmas cards. And my former boss is who, like, I learned this from because she was working on hers at work one day. And then I went to her house and she had her garage door was full of them. And I'm like, wow, people really send Christmas cards. Like, I just was not something that was ever in my world. But it is true. It's like, people literally throw them out, especially if you send them every year. It's like, do people keep Christmas cards? And why would they? I don't know, especially if they know another one's coming 365 days. For me and my house, I don't think we'll be doing that. At best, we'll take Christmas pictures and post them on social media, or maybe email them to like family and friends. I don't know. It just was not something I grew up familiar with.
This year, fuck Luann. I give a shit how old she is. Does she have any tits yet? Send me a picture of Luann's tits. Then I know I'm gonna have a happy new year, too. Then,
the men cheering for this.
Your holiday pleasure, they enclose a family newsletter.
No.
Just what you're hoping for.
No, we're not doing that.
People you can barely fucking remember. We're so proud of Brad. He's been accepted into dental school. Yeah, in the Philippines. After 4 tries. Fuck Brad and everybody who looks like Brad. Judging from his picture, I think he's jerking off too much. Keep him away from Luann.
Why are people cheering for these things? Like the certain like explicit things, there are certain men in the crowd that are cheering. It's concerning. It's concerning.
Luann. Here's another bunch of genetic defectives who've been turned loose on answering machines.
Oh, gosh.
These guys who cannot resist the urge to put music on their outgoing message. You know, some guy spends $8 at Radio Shack and suddenly he's a fucking record producer. And because...
That was like the biggest thing of middle school, was to have a song as your answer machine. And like change it every couple of days. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't regret being a part of that wave. Nope. I'm here. I did it. Standing on that one. Loud and proud.
Spends $8 at Radio Shack and suddenly he's a fucking record producer. And because he's busy in the basement jacking off his dog, I have to listen to substandard music. And it's always rotten music, you know? It's either new age, that pointless, meandering zombie noise played by pseudo-spiritual lunatics who think wind chimes are a musical instrument.
Okay.
Or else it's soft rock. Soft rock, that lame-ass, weak, non-threatening suburban white boy junk played by bands like Men Without Testicles. Oh, and folks, on these answering machines, do me a favor, would you please? When you record your outgoing message, don't bother telling me you can't come to the phone.
That's true.
I understand that.
Can't come to the phone right now.
Apparently,
Duh.
we have these machines. And don't tell me to leave my name and number. Somehow, I figured that out. And if you work in an office, never mind that stuff, I'm away from my desk. If you had to take a shit, say so. Just say, hi, this is Mary Louise. I had the Mexican jalapeno bean chili. And I washed it down with a gallon of gin. I'll be in and out all day. There are some more people who ought to be strapped into chairs and beaten with hammers.
Oh my gosh. Why is it so violent? He said it. He likes to complain and he doesn't like people. And he's proving that to be very right, George.
People who wear visors. Let me ask you something.
This is a good one.
What the fuck is the point in wearing half a hat? Either get a hat or don't. No one's interested in the top of your head. Go back to the store and tell them to give you the rest of the hat. They cheated you. Better still, get yourself one of them little Jewish hats and sew it to your visor. Then you got yourself a full-fledged fucking hat, my friend. Here are some more musical vermin whose mothers we wish had had medical plans that included abortion. These singers.
The people that are cheering for the awful things that he is saying are like sending me. It's not nice.
These singers who think they're so special, they only need one name. Bono, Sting, Jewel, Tiffany, Prince. What a crock of shit. Get a fucking last name, would you please? I got a nice 2-word name for you. Pretentious cocksucker. How do you like that? Bono, Sting. It's not bad enough the music sucks, but with no last name, you can't find out where they live to throw a fucking bomb through their window.
my gosh.
Frustrating. Here are some more people who deserve an inoperable tumor at the base of their spines. These guys who fly around the world in a fucking balloon. You know?
I believe it posted yesterday, or 2 days ago, my reaction to the documentary that was on HBO about how George affected other comedians, like how he changed their lives. And one of the comedians mentioned like how George wrote all of his shows out, like verbatim, word for word. And this is a situation where it makes me think like how he's leading into each one of these saying like, here's another group of da 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 da, and that there's such like wordy phrases that he's using. It's like, how did he remember all of this? He's not reading off of anything. This thing is 20 minutes long and he is not referring back to anything. It's just like, just the amazing how well, like how good of a performer he is. I don't think I could ever, like memorize all of this. He hasn't stumbled, fumbled, anything. It's crazy.
What is this, 1850? Get a fucking airline ticket, will you, please? When are the media gonna realize no one's interested in some rich trouser stain who's so bored he's gotta fly around the balloon all day?
You call a person a trouser
Guy
stain?
gets hit by lightning. It flies around in little fart circles.
George!
Lands in a sewage treatment pond and sinks with the rest of the turds. Mr. Lighter Than Air. Here is another pack of jack-offs who ought to be strangled in front of their children. People who pay for inexpensive items with a credit card. You know, folks, take my word for this. Raisinets is not...
Why does that bother him? That doesn't affect him in any way. Why does that bother him? If someone wants to pay for Raisinets with their credit card.
You know, folks, take my word for this. Raisinets is not a major purchase. Get some fucking cash together. No one should be paying a bank 18% interest on Tic Tacs. And you're holding up the fucking line, too. Some dorky-looking prick with a fanny pack waiting to be approved for a bag of cheese doodles.
I do get very aggravated with myself when I go to buy something that is less than a couple of bucks and I don't have the cash. I know, like, I just don't carry cash, but it aggravates me. I get annoyed with myself for that. I do. It's true.
Some dorky-looking prick with a fanny pack waiting to be approved for a bag of cheese doodles. I need this like I need an infected scrotum. Get some fucking money. Next guy ahead of me online pays for Newsweek with a credit card is getting stabbed in the eyes. And I'm getting really sick of guys named Todd. You know, yeah, it's just a goofy fucking name, okay? Hi, what's your name? Todd. I'm Todd. And this is Blake and Blair and Blaine and Brent. Where are all these goofy fucking boys' names coming from? Taylor, Tyler, Jordan, Flynn. These are not real names. You want to hear a real name? Eddie. Eddie is a real name. Whatever happened to Eddie? He was here a minute ago. Joey and Jackie and Johnny and Phil, Bobby and Tommy and Danny and Bill. What happened? Todd.
Why does he have to say it like that? Todd. He would hate the names that are circulating now. I feel like the new names are like further away from the Jackies and the Bills and the things that he was saying before. He would not like those. I feel guilty for laughing at some of these things. I mean to offend no one.
Tommy and Danny and Bill, what happened? Todd and Cody and Dylan and Cameron and Tucker. Hi, Tucker. I'm Todd. Hi, Todd. I'm Tucker. Fuck Tucker. Tucker sucks. And fuck Tucker's friend, Kyle.
These are all actually like unisex names that I consider naming my daughter. I love a unisex name. I like all those names. Like I wanted my daughter's name to be Ryan so bad. So bad. Didn't work out though.
And fuck Tucker's friend, Kyle. Yeah. There's another soft name for a boy, Kyle. Soft names make soft people. I'll bet you anything that 10 times out of 10, Nikki, Vinny, and Tony will beat the shit out of Todd, Kyle, and Tucker.
He might have a point there, folks.
Thank you very much. There are some more people with missing chromosomes who ought to be thrown screaming from a helicopter. Gun enthusiasts, you know? Oh, yeah, I'm a gun enthusiast. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm a blowjob enthusiast. You want to see me shoot? Cock this and I'll discharge a load for you. And I'm not against guns. I'm not one of those mindless Hollywood cocksuckers. I'm not against guns. I'm not against bullets. I'm not even against people shooting each other. Shit, shooting somebody's part of the American dream. I don't care who it is. Parents, teachers, kids, fuck them. Let them get shot. Doesn't bother me. But speaking of mindless Hollywood cocksuckers, before Charlton Heston became president of these dickless lunatics in the NRA, they had a different guy. He stood.
I can imagine this upset folks. This is what I was saying in the beginning. Like, did he? Obviously, he ruffled some feathers. What became of that? Is my question.
Lunatics in the NRA. They had a different guy. He's still one of their major spokesmen. His name is Wayne LaPierre. What kind of a name for a gun nut is Wayne LaPierre? Doesn't this sound a little fruity to you? Hi, I'm Wayne. I'm a gun person. Bang, bang. You know what this prick's name ought to be? Biff Webster. Spud Crowley. A man's name, Chuck Steak. Here are some more men who ought to be strapped to a gun and castrated with fishing knives. White guys who shave their heads completely bald. You know?
That's so specific. It's so specific.
They're so ashamed they lost 11 hairs. They're going to try to turn it into some kind of a masculine statement. I say, hey, you goofy-looking, baldy-headed fuck. Looks good on black guys. On you, it's ugly, repulsive, and disgusting. You want to be bald? Do what I did. Wait a while.
That was such a specific. That was very specific. I do enjoy a bald head. I do. Like, I think Bill Burr's bald head is super attractive. I do. I agree. I think, like, I don't know. I'm just like, don't hang on to it, guys. If your head is saying it doesn't want to have hair, let it go. Bald is sexy to me. I don't know. Personal opinion. Yeah.
Meantime, there's no excuse for running around looking like a freshly circumcised dick. And just to wind up this little group of complaints, finally, this is a group of social criminals. These people in the space program. Nassholes, I call them. In case you haven't heard, the latest disaster for the rest of the universe is that the United States is going to go to Mars. Okay? Oh, yeah. We're going to go to Mars. And then, of course, we're going to colonize deep space with our microwave hot dogs and plastic vomit, fake dog shit and cinnamon dental floss and lemon-scented toilet paper and sneakers with lights. And
none of those things. None of them. Immediately no. Microwaved hot dogs.
dog shit and cinnamon dental floss and lemon-scented toilet paper and sneakers with lights in the heels.
Oh, I love those.
And all these other impressive things we've done down here. But let me ask you this. What are we going to tell the Intergalactic Council of Ministers the first time one of our teenage mothers throws her newborn baby into a dumpster, huh? How are we going to explain that to the space people? How are we going to let them know that our ambassador was only late for the meeting because his breakfast was cold and he had to spend half an hour punching his wife around the kitchen?
Yikes.
What are they going to think when they find out it's just a local custom that over 80 million women in the third world have had their clitorises forcibly removed in order to reduce their sexual pleasure so they won't cheat on their husbands? Can't you just sense how eager the rest of the universe is for us to show up? Can't you see them out there?
Yeah, that last bit.
Thank you.
That last bit was a mic drop. Yeah, we're going to go into outer space and expose all the awful things on this planet that are happening. Wow. Well, I think George said all that there was needed. I don't need to add anything else. Go have the day you deserve. Peace.